this video, we're going to look at bringing yoga into your daily life in regard to sitting. We often spend a large portion of our day sitting. Might be you sit at a desk to work, you might sit at a desk to craft, you might sit at your dining room table to have your evening meal and want to bring your yoga principles into that. Even if you're sitting on your sofa, you can think about making that an environment where you can practice your yoga. We are all different. We've all got different length legs, different coloured eyes, different heights. So think about making your environment fit you. I will discuss towards the end sitting in a car. So if, like me, you're a little shorter in the leg or the seat's a little high, you don't have an adjustable chair, you might need to bring the floor up to you. When we sit, we want the thigh to be parallel with the floor, so the knees effectively in alignment with the hips. That might mean bringing the floor up to you, as I have done here with a block, or it might be, if you've not got a seat you can raise, you need to bring the seat up to you. So you can always be sitting on that block if it's a case of your knees are higher than your hips. Of course, you might not have yoga blocks. You might want to use a book. You might want to use a little stack of cushions. If you're at work, do see if your place of work will buy you a foot support if you need it. So this is an adjustable one. And they never adjust when you want to. So you can put that under your desk and adjust it to the level you need to for your particular leg then. So the next thing we want to do, having got our leg position correct, is to sit up nice and tall with a straight back, relaxed shoulders, level chin, long neck. I've got a little unit here. It doesn't have a knee hole for me to slide my legs underneath, but I'm going to demonstrate from here how you might bring your workstation up to your level. So I just need to take this out of the way. I'm going to bring my chair into my workspace. So I have a block I can put under each foot here to just demonstrate having those thighs level. So when you're working, you ideally want the forearm to be level. So you'll see if I had a keyboard on something this level, it would be the right height for me. Wrist support's very much personal choice. I tend to find that you then drop and there's more strain on the wrist for me. So I prefer working without one and just having those shoulders relaxed. So this would typically be the right height for me. If anything, I would need to just lower that a little. Or indeed, bring my sitting height up so my forearm was level with the desk of its height. Having sorted out whatever you're working at hand level, it's next about your eye level. If you're doing something like sewing, you obviously have no choice. If there's something down on the desk, you will have set your focal length if you wear glasses with your optician for your best view. But if we're talking about laptops and screens, well, a laptop, you'll need to adjust the screen to be the correct height to try and keep your gaze level. What we often do is we start crouching in. So whenever you recognise that you're dropping into your screen, just bring yourself up, correct your position and start again. Adjust the screen if you need to. If you're working separately with a separate keyboard and screen, then that's ideal because of course you can raise the screen. It might be again that you use a book. Okay, so we might sit it onto the book to bring the screen up to eye level. You might find box files will work because of course if we're talking about just a screen, that's not going to be moving a great deal. You might find you can sit here better as an adjustment to your position. Notice I'm not leaning into the back of the chair. You shouldn't be leaning back like this. Long term, that's not going to help your lower back. I actually have a little wooden stool. It's a yoga meditation stool. I could put a screen onto the top of there if I wanted to bring my screen up to my level. Of course, I can use it with the feet folded under. So do make sure your environment is going to be safe for you to work in. Think about the position of the thighs, being upright through the spine, the level of your wrists where your arms are, and having the neck nice and long and upright. Use any props available to you to make your workspace match your needs. Take that down for a moment. So, regarding sitting in a car, I'm just going to turn so that I'm not practicing badly by turning to look at the screen. When you're in a car, if you're the main driver, you should adjust the position to suit you. You want to think about being as upright as suits you. You want to sit maybe a little away from the seat, but the tendency is that you will lean back whilst you're driving. Steering wheels tend to be adjustable, so again, find that position that's comfortable for you for your arms, particularly if you're going on a very long journey or driving as part of your job. You'll be able to adjust the seat. Often they tilt and they might have a lumbar support. And then the other thing is, as well as the distance from the pedals, obviously, for safety, the other thing is your mirror. This is a little tip from one of my yoga students. Adjust your mirror so that you need to sit upright to look in the mirror. If you have a tendency to slouch, particularly because you're on your way home and it's the end of the day, adjusting the mirror can make you sit upright. It should be second nature to look in the mirror when you're driving, so adjust that mirror so that you need to sit upright to see clearly in it. It will be a little reminder, a little prompt to sit properly. What else can you do when you're sitting at your desk? If you do find yourself bending forwards, if you find your back's aching, if you find your shoulders are aching, think about sitting upright or even standing for a moment. We should all take a little time away from screens. We shouldn't spend our entire day in front of the screen. It might be that you just get up and walk around your chair, stand tall for a moment. It might be that you want a little back bend. It might be that you can practice a little yoga on your chair, depending on your chair. I don't recommend it when you've got a chair with wheels necessarily, but you might be able to take those hands behind you to open the chest, look up to the ceiling. You might find rolling those shoulders backwards, and typically we would go backwards because we've been here to be onto the computer, so we want to sit up and roll those shoulders backwards. Think about where your little aches are, twinges, and move accordingly. It might be the head needs a little ease out, might need a little look from one side to the other. You might find holding your hands behind your back, looking up to the ceiling, drawing the chin down towards the throat, bringing the head back to centre and releasing the arms. Whatever you do, try to just make little adjustments, small adjustments. Don't feel you have to follow this entire advice to the letter every single moment you're sitting at your desk. I'm hoping these are helpful tips to help you create good habits so you can take your yoga from your mat into everyday life. Hope this has been some help for you. You can always, of course, take a wonderful breath at your desk, breathing in to stretch up, releasing as you breathe out. Thank you very much. Namaste.